So I said you could probably wipe that off with a moist towelette. I just wanted to say moist towelette.
It's fun to say moist.
It is not fun to say moist. It is a very disgusting word.
Oh,
It's not a fun word. I don't like the word.
moist.
Yeah, just me saying it, I was like,
Gross.
it is gross. Okay, welcome back.
Welcome back.
Yes. Real quick, thank you.
So much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
To everybody who, I mean, we've been begging for what, like a year?
About that.
And
I've been bitching and moaning for a while.
and you guys finally showed up. So
Better late than never.
you know what? I'll take it.
I will too.
We got an influx of YouTube subscribers for the past like couple of weeks, and thank you so much. We passed a milestone that I thought we weren't gonna pass until after the holidays,
Yeah.
and so we of course have been very excited all week. We've been keeping an eye on it, and it's great. So thank you everybody, new and old. I mean, if you've been with us for a while, thank you for staying with us for a while. For the YouTube folks, you can watch the full show because we only put up a little bit. We give you a little taste here. But you can catch the full show on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, and Google Play, among probably a million other places it pops
We
up.
don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we're probably everywhere. We just don't even know it. For the audio folks, you can watch a little taste of the show on YouTube, as well as other videos we have up there of like urban exploration type things. Whew. I'm out of breath. Sean, I'm not gonna give it away.
Give it away, give
because
it away now.
because you should jump over to the YouTube thing. So the YouTube people obviously can see that Sean is celebrating whatever day this is. It's a special.
You'll never guess.
It's a special Friday. A special Friday. Yeah. You probably live for this shit, don't you?
Yeah.
Mm.
Halloween's my favorite time of the year.
I love that. He's like, yeah.
Hell yeah.
I know. Next month we'll have to start incorporating maybe some funny, scary stuff.
I'll be
And
trying to
then
dress
the
up
show.
for each show again.
Oh, really? You gonna try like the whole month?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Like I did last year.
October, the first Friday in October, October 4th, is our first. I'm sorry, it's not the first. It is our. There's no we. Wow. It's
I like Tito.
I like Cheetos and lemonade. It is our 200th episode. We've already got something lined up. We have a very special show coming that night.
Extremely special.
That's the one that's the one you're gonna have to check out. So there's that. My goodness, it has been these past like 2 weeks have been
2 weeks.
fucking
Yeah.
just insane.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, have you ever done?
Yes.
Yeah.
Many times.
Now you said yes before I hit the whole thing. Have you ever done fantasy football?
No.
Oh my dear Lord. My oldest nephew talked me into doing fantasy football this year. And can I just say that, like, I care more about it than I thought I would. You go right through the hole. You just got the straw through the hole. I care more about it than I really wanted to.
I practiced before we started.
Oh, did you?
Mm-hmm.
So we did this.
It's important to get it in the hole.
It is important to get the straw in the hole. So we,
Especially on the first try.
yeah, it was just. So I said that I would do it, right? And I got a text from my nephew, and he was like, "Listen, I was gonna have everybody over at the house, and we were gonna have this like draft, right? I'm not gonna
Close the window.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get too into this because I know probably a minuscule amount of people ever care about this. But I have to relay a few funny things that had occurred. So my nephew ended up having to work nights, overnight shift, and so what ended up happening was we did a draft over text. And basically all that means is I had to pick 12 players. And then everybody else had to pick 12 players. And my nephew did like a name number draw. And so when you get like the number draw, yeah, I mean I'm losing my place in my own mind. When the number that he pulled was your thing. So anyway, I got like 7th pick out of 8 people, which means I was picking next to last.
Oh.
So I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna get hardly anybody that I want. So then I went back and I researched for like 2 fucking hours. I just put a lot of time and effort into my team. All right?
You should get paid already.
You would think. Well, I mean, we're getting paid. If you win, you get like $300 bucks. I know. If you win, you get like $300 bucks. Right? So I'm like, I want to win.
Show me the money.
I know. Pay me. So I said, okay. So I went back, did some research, had to redo my whole roster. Ultimately, I ended up getting everybody that I wanted, which was amazing.
Yes.
But my first pick was Sterling Shepard. Now, I am a Giants fan. I know what Sterling Shepard could do. He wasn't impressive in the preseason, but I know what he can do. So I was like, I'm going to get Sterling Shepard because he's going to be a sleeper. Nobody's going to want him. Yeah, so I grabbed him, and my nephew kind of like texted me privately like this weird little like emoji face. And then my very next pick was Evan Ingram, who's also a New York Giant, but he's an awesome tight end, right? So then my nephew privately texts me and goes, are you going to pick Giants players all night? Stop fucking taking Giants players. And I said, I promise, just these 2. He's like, it better be.
You have Odell?
No, I did not take Odell.
Wow.
You pick 12, and then you get like 3 or 4 for like your bench. And I was going to take Odell for my bench. See, the problem is that Odell hurt his leg last year. It's a very serious injury. And I'm like, he's either going to go easy on his leg because it's his first year back, or he's going to try to go too hard and he'll fuck his leg up again.
Did you do it hurt himself dancing again?
I know, right? So I said, I'm not going to take Odell. He would be like a bench player. And somebody ended up grabbing him before I could do that, so I was fine with that.
Grabbed him where?
Privately. So there's that. I mean, and I'm just like keeping it. I care more about it than I really thought I would. And I'm like, I don't really have a lot of free time to be giving a shit about this. I thought I could just pick these guys and then just let it run itself. But now I'm like, do I bench this guy? Who they playing next week? It's like, it's fucking crazy. I can see how people get like really pulled into it.
I never did.
Now, last week's show was a little weird because we were a little bit off. My dad had pacemaker replacement surgery last week, and that ended up being more complicated than it needed to be. But my dad, of course, I'm coming in with parent stories because I spent like 4 days with them, right? So the night before the surgery, I was at my parents' house. Now, originally, he thought he wasn't going to have surgery until 1. And then they ended up switching his surgery for 8:30 in the morning. So then he was angry. He was like, I can't even have my morning cup of coffee? And then I said, if your surgery was at 1, you can't drink coffee anyway. You can't have anything all day.
Right, you're supposed to fast before this, right?
And he goes, well, nobody told me that. And I said, really? Are you sure they didn't tell you that? And he goes, I am pretty sure they didn't tell me that. I said, well, you can't eat or drink. You're screwed. And he's like, well, that's unfair. That is just unfair. So he walked away. Now, I have to tell you an old story in order to continue with that story. Months ago, my mom was like starting to come down with like this stomach bug. And my parents had gone out to eat. So they get to the restaurant and my mother's like, you know what, Bob? I kind of don't feel like eating. I feel like I'm coming down with something. And instead of being like, however, and being like, oh, I feel horrible for you. Let me take you home. My dad literally looks her in the eye and goes, well, then you can watch me eat. My mother had to sit in a restaurant feeling sick, watching my dad eat his dinner before she could go home. Now, I told you that story to finish this other story. When he left the room after complaining about how he wasn't going to be able to eat all day and wouldn't be able to have his cup of coffee in the morning, my mother turns to me and goes, "Good." She goes, "On the way to the hospital, I'm going to stop at Dunkin' Donuts." She goes, "After the shit he pulled at me on that restaurant a few months ago, he can watch me drink coffee." I was like, "That is mean." And she goes, "No, it's not."
Revenge!
Yes! She was looking at it like, I'm getting revenge, right? So I was like, that's cruel. So we all met at the hospital. So he had to be at the hospital at 8:30. I was like 3 minutes late. So we were sitting in the pre-op waiting area before they take him backstage. And
behind the scenes.
I look next to my mom, and in the waiting room, they have, like, all these chairs and then, like, these end tables. My mom owned this end table. She had her purse. She had one of those big cardboard drink carrier things full of fucking coffee, and then 2 bags of, like, donut pastry shit. And she looks at me and she goes, "You want a coffee?" And I was like, "No, I don't drink coffee. You know that I don't drink coffee." And she's like, "I thought you might want one." And then she goes, "One donut? One donut?" And I said, "No." And then my dad's like, "I wouldn't mind a coffee." And she's like, "You can't have one. Not for you." I was like, "Oh my God, you are so mean." She's like, "Hey." And then she takes, this is like the funniest thing, like she takes it and she's like sipping out of the straw, just staring at him. And she's like, "How's it feel? How's it feel?" I was like, "Oh my God." So they take him backstage. And, it's a small area, so he can only have a couple people at a time. Yeah, exactly. That's the kind of shit she was doing. And then she's eating a donut in front of him. She's like, "This is the best donut." And they didn't have a lot of room backstage. So my sister went with my mother, and then my sister came out so that I could go backstage. And what's funny is, like, she described it to me. She's like, "You're going to walk through the door, you're going to bang a left." She's like, "And then walk that way and, like, you'll see him sitting in a little curtained area." And I was like, "All right." So I turn and I walk I'm like back through the door and I'm walking. I had like 10 nurses look at me going, "Are you lost? Do you need help? Where you going? Who you seeing? Who are you here to see?" Like, my friend used to work at this hospital. I text her and I'm like, I don't ever want to hear about, like, a nurse shortage at this hospital because there's like 15 nurses just standing around doing nothing.
Yep.
And all of them were all up my ass when I walked back there. "Do you need help? Who are you here for? What are you looking for?" And she's like, "Yeah."
I'm starting to notice that at fast food places and shit.
Really?
You're like 4 or 5 people like within a certain area. They're all talking to each other about stupid shit.
Yeah.
I'm waiting on my food here.
Yeah.
Hurry up.
Oh, you know what's
Stop talking about whatever that is.
You know what's the worst is when you're buying groceries or something and the cashier is talking to the bagger. And they're just talking about their personal lives. It's like, I don't give a shit what you did last night. Bag up my stuff.
At the same time, though, if you get a different cashier that doesn't talk, that's like quiet as hell, they're the ones that are like this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, slow as shit.
Beep. Yeah.
Yeah. Beep. Yeah, I get it.
Meanwhile, you're looking at the other 16 items that you have.
Oh, God, I should have picked a different register.
Yeah.
So, I find him, I go up to him, we're sitting there, we're talking for a little bit. I look down and I've never seen my dad without his wedding ring, right? I don't even think it could come off his finger. I think it's just sewn in at this point.
It's welded on.
Yeah.
Melted.
So I looked down and they had a piece of like tape, like gauze tape, like around his finger. And I said, "They taped up your finger?" And he goes, "Yeah. They couldn't get my wedding ring off." And he's like, "I can't get it past that knuckle." He's like, "It's just there forever." And then my mother goes, now mind you, he's still angry about the coffee, right? And my mother goes, "Oh, you should just have that cut off. They'll cut that off for you. Just have it cut off." And then he looks at her and he's like, "No, it is fine where it is. You leave it right where it is, Diane." And he starts like snap. I'm like, whoa. So you're still pissed about the coffee thing, huh? She drank coffee right in front of me, Tara. I'm like, I know, I was there.
I would have done some joke like, well, they had to get my wedding band off, and we had a little problem.
My whole hand. That was the longest fucking day.
Someone said cut it off, and they meant the ring, but they just took my whole finger.
Yeah. This is the longest fucking day.
Just take the other ones and leave this one.
Because I was there at 8:30. They took him up for surgery at like 10:30. We did not hear, like, he didn't come out of surgery until almost 6.
Wow.
Yeah. This was like the longest fucking day.
I bet. Probably like you and me at work. On a Tuesday.
Yeah, might as well have been a goddamn Tuesday.
Oh.
The longest
I
days.
hate you, Tuesday.
Yeah.
I'm coming for you.
The longest days.
Mm.
So it was just jacked up. I was like, really? This is a long day. Like, my friend texted me. They had come out and they're like, oh yeah, he's all set. And then like an hour goes by. And my friend texted me and she goes, so have you seen him yet? And I said, no, they haven't said anything. And she goes, it was an hour ago. And I said, well, yeah. And she's, that's too long. And I said, I didn't know there was a time frame. And she goes, yes, there is. And that's too long. So I look at my sister. Now, my sister, there are places my sister can't go into. Because...
Bridges.
No, not just that. Like, she's not allowed in Pet Boys. There are places she's literally not allowed.
I think a while back you told me some story, and I think it had to do with her.
She's
banned.
She's small.
But
she's like 5. What is she, like 5'5" maybe? 5'4", 5'5". But she's a Spitfire, and she's not afraid to do the finger wag and in your face and nah. And
she's a miracle.
Yeah, so I said to her, I was like, you go ask the nurse. And she goes, why me? And I said, because you get results. I said, if I go, I'm too sheepish. They'll just be like, he'll be out when he's out. And I'll just go, okay, and I'll walk away. I was like, if you go and they try that shit, you'll be like, no, now. I was like, you'll get shit done. And she goes, yeah, that's true. So she walked out, and then she comes back, and she's like, they're bringing him up in like 2 minutes. I'm like, of course they are, because you fucking went.
Ta-da.
That's why. It's because you went. She's like, yeah, well, it's happening. He finally came out, and the nurses were like, they get him in a room, like we follow him to his room. We're like a train. We follow him to his room, and they park his little bed and get him all ready. And the nurse is standing there, and she's like, he is so funny. We love him. He was so funny in recovery. He is so funny. And my mother looks at her deadpan and goes, well, then he's not my husband.
I really want to hang out at your parents' house.
I got one more, right? So they ask you, when you come out of anesthesia, they ask you all of these questions because they want to make sure you have cognitive thinking, right?
Condom?
I can't say it twice in a row. Cognitive thinking. So...
Condom.
They want to make sure that you know what year it is and whatever. So they're asking him all these questions that he knows all the answers to, so he's answering the questions. And then then the nurse says, do you live by yourself or do you live with someone? And my dad, without missing a beat and not even making eye contact with my mother, who he's still angry about the coffee, by the way, motions with his thumb and goes, I live with her. And my mom, now she's pissed. So now after that fucking move, my mom looks at him and goes, not for long. I was like, what the fuck?
Wow.
I live with her.
Real life sitcom.
I should have taped the whole thing.
Yes.
I should have. My dad is so paranoid about ending up on YouTube. He said that to me in the hospital too. He's like, you're not putting this on the YouTube. I'm like, Dad.
Oh, remember the last one?
Oh yeah.
They wanted the tape and he was trying to find the light.
I wish I taped that. That was funny as hell. Oh man. Oof. I don't want to see this on the YouTube. And then I talked about it in one of the last episodes we had, and I got busted. Somebody ratted me out.
We're probably going to do it again.
Yeah, probably. It's fine. I got a different shirt on, Joe, so. Oh, it's Garfield. He's getting licked by Slimer.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So. So that's been my couple of weeks. It's been interesting.
Always more interesting than mine.
Yeah, and now it's like he's not supposed to work for like a week, and he can't put his hands above his head. So I was like, "Woo, Dad, look, I can do this."
Hopefully he doesn't get held up. Hands up! I can't!
I can only go this high!
Get him up! I can't!
I really can't! I'm sorry! High five! Dad, high five! Asshole! It's not funny. So what do you have over here?
I came across this the other day.
Did you now?
And I thought it was interesting.
Okay. The
world's biggest video game retailer, GameStop, is closing hundreds of stores as it attempts to stay afloat. And that's just the first wave of closures.
Oh.
The world's largest video game retailer, GameStop, has a staggering number of stores around the world, over 5,700 as of September 2019.
Yeah.
While the massive number of retail locations might made sense in a previous decade, it's become a liability for the game retail giant as consumers increasingly buy digital games.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, among many other reasons, GameStop is beginning to shut down some of its many retail locations.
Okay.
Quote, "We are on track to close between 180 and 200 underperforming stores globally by the end of this fiscal year." GameStop CFO Jim Ryan said on the company's Q2 earnings call this past Tuesday. And that's not all. Yes.
No!
Yes. The company is expecting to close a, quote, much larger group of stores in the next 1 to 2 years. The initial wave of closures, Ryan said, are opportunist. Yeah.
Me too.
That's all, folks.
Opportunistic.
Thank you.
Holy crap!
Shit. Whereas
me speech good.
Whereas the next wave of closures will come from a deeper look at each store in its region.
No.
We are applying a more definitive approach.
Opportunistic. God damn it.
Including profit levels and sales, and we expect. Jesus Christ.
We respect you.
Will yield a much larger amount of closures over the coming 12 to 24 months. It's unclear how many stores will be closed in the long run, but it is clear that GameStop exceeds are taking a more deliberate approach to the next wave of stores the company loses and closes.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Especially, like, there are no... What's fucked up is there, aside from, like, box stores, like Target, Walmart, like stores like that, there's no real competition for GameStop.
No.
They are, like, the one. So you would figure that they'd be thriving.
Yeah. You'd think.
Yeah, you would think.
But a lot of people these days are just lazy.
Sears has them. They have them at Sears.
A lot of people these days are just lazy and just want to order it.
Online ordering, you think?
Yep.
Wow.
Get up and go to the store.
I mean, when it comes to...
we had to do 20-something years ago.
I mean, when it comes to, like, video games, I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait.
I want to just go out and buy it now. And
yeah.
Maybe buying something else with it. Shit.
That's kind of a bummer.
The closures are the latest cost-saving measure from GameStop's new leadership team. The company has already had 2 waves of layoffs.
Aww.
Under its new leadership team, GameStop launched the initiative known as, quote, GameStop Reboot. That's intended to breathe new life into the retail chain. First step of the reboot involves addressing issues with so-called SG&A, financial team that stands for Selling, General, and Administrative Expenses. Said that without screwing that up.
You do that, but we can't do opportunistic.
In simpler terms, it means lowering the cost of salaries, taxes,
Ooh.
advertising, and other non-production costs. Unfortunately, it also means layoffs and store closures.
That sucks.
So I saw that, and I know you love games, you love GameStop.
I do love games.
I feel like a lot of people that might watch us are gamers. They might want to know this too.
I am shocked. I'm shocked.
I thought you would be.
This is shock face. I can't. That sucks.
Yes.
Aside from the people who would be out of work, they ruined Movie Stop too.
Yeah, we used to love that.
Oh my God, we did. Those trips were the bomb.
Like $20, we come back with like 10 different DVDs.
I could ball out there for $20.
You did.
I did several times. I did. Yes. It's like, oh, you grab all these, just put them in my basket. Yeah, that sucks. Wow. I may end up having to buy my shit online now.
You're gonna have to, but I'd suggest soon. Get what you need at GameStop.
Does that mean they're gonna be having clearance sales?
Maybe.
That'd be nice. Real quick, before we say goodbye to the YouTube folks, where it is Friday the 13th. What's your favorite Friday the 13th movie? Go.
Part 4.
Wow, he answered so quick. Part 4.
Yes.
What does that entail?
Jason.
Well, I assume Jason's in it. I didn't think it'd have
That was supposed to be the original final one. It was called the final chapter.
Does he die? Like die? Like die? Does he die in it? Does he die in it?
He dies in just about every one of them.
I know. That's why I'm saying, does he die in it? Because it's like no hope of coming back.
I think that's one of the best death scenes of Jason that I like too.
What, in 4?
Yeah, he gets a machete into the side of his head.
Ooh.
And then he drops on the floor, and the handle stops on the floor, and his head slides down the machete.
Aww.
And slices half his head.
Aww.
It's awesome. And yet he still survives that.
That's kind of bogue. And he survives that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's obviously supernatural. You can't die in every movie and be like, I'm good.
And the kid in it is Corey Feldman.
Oh, Corey Feldman's in that one. I thought he was in an earlier one.
No, that's the first one that he's in.
Oh, okay.
And one of the teenagers that shows up is Crispin Glover.
No, he's weird in everything he's in.
He does a wicked funny dance that he was known to do at the time when he goes to clubs.
Really?
If you just Google or go on YouTube and look for Crispin Glover's dance.
Yeah.
He just does this weird thing. It's one of those dances that you just do without thinking, and his arms going like this. He's kicking his leg up, and his head's going down like this. It's hilarious.
All I'm seeing now is the Elaine dance from Seinfeld.
That's
She's
his
like,
version.
All right. Jesus. Okay. I can't really give a vote because I don't watch those movies.
But for the
I thought I saw the first one, and I thought it was really stupid because
it's the mom.
Yeah. Well, spoiler alert. Yeah. I mean, because it was like
1980.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't because I was like, oh, it was her, and I was like, well, that's dumb.
See, as the movies go, Part 4 is my favorite. It also has at the beginning, I forgot to mention.
Yeah.
I forget his actual name, but he was Fackler on Police Academy.
Oh, okay, the guy with the glasses.
Yeah.
Is his real name Hugh?
No.
Or something? No? Okay.
I'm drawing a blank at the moment, but he was Officer Fackler in Police Academy. He doesn't last too long.
Well, that's all right.
Yeah. He plays... It's like a coroner or something in the...
okay.
The freezer room where all the stiffs come in.
I see. Well, how fun for him.
Yeah. As all the movies go in general, 4 is my favorite to watch.
Yeah.
But Kane Hodder will always be my favorite Jason.
And was he not the Jason in 4?
No. In 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, it was all a different guy.
Jesus.
And
Well,
then
I mean,
when Kane Hodder stepped in on part 7, he played Jason from 7, 8, 9, 10.
there was 10 of these movies?
Yes.
Shit.
10th took place in the future in space.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Where at one point he did get this awesome looking remake, like at the end, like a bunch of little nanonites
Right.
had repair him, and they gave him a whole new look and like a metal mask. It's pretty badass. But Kane Hodder will always be the best Jason Voorhees to me.
Now, like a few years ago, and I say a few, but it was probably more like 5. They kind of, I know.
The other day, 1 hour ago.
Yeah, that's how I feel about shit. It's like the other day, and then it's like 8 months ago. So I say not long ago, but it was probably like 5-6 years ago. They rebooted The Nightmare on Elm Street. Well, they tried to.
The remake?
Yeah, that was kind of.
That was 2010.
Yeah, so 9 years ago.
And they did it for Friday the 13th the year before.
Oh, did they? That was going to be my question.
Yep.
Like, have they tried to? Has there been any talks about rebooting it?
I'm sure there is.
Wow.
Yeah, I keep hearing they're going to do another version of a reboot of Nightmare on Elm Street, and possibly Kevin Bacon being Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, you said he wants to do it.
Yeah. And I haven't heard any more since.
I'm skeptical on that, but...
I'm assuming right now they're just trying to get the best script for it to go.
Right.
Which they better. But no matter what, I'm going to give it a shot.
Yeah, Sean's on the side, I tell you.
I'm always up for another Freddy try.
Speaking of which, Robert Englund's going to be at Rhode Island Comic Con.
Yeah!
Are you totally... How many times have you met him?
Twice.
You met him twice. You're going to go for a third?
Hell yeah. One more.
One more? One more for the road?
Yeah.
Nice.
There's one more picture that I have that's one of my favorites that I want him to sign.
Okay.
And I have one of those action figures. It's a figure of him from part 6.
Mm-hmm.
From Freddy's Dead.
Okay.
Where he's got the Freddy's sweater and everything, but it's Robert's face. It's pretty
cool. Okay.
It's pretty cool.
Wow, that's interesting.
So to have him sign that would be great.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, hope you enjoyed this this little taste, this appetizer, if you will, of the show. You can check out the rest of the show, which hopefully will be equally funny, on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Google Play,
Playtime,
and probably Playtime. It's Playtime. Sorry. Among other places. If Joe were here, he'd tell you to like, subscribe, and ring the bell.
Wouldn't you, Joe? You would.
I'm doing everybody's work for him. That's all it is. We will see you next time. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for all the subscribes.
Thank you so much.
It's been an awesome couple of weeks.
Hell yeah.
I'm going to shut up now because Scarecrow, I'll miss you most of all.
Hell no, you won't.
No, I won't because he's an
Fuck
asshole.
Scarecrow.
Exactly.
Hope he gets eaten by birds. I
hope you get a kerosene bath, you prick. Hugga prick. Sean's got something to tell you.
Have a good everything. Happy Friday the 13th. If you end up having sex tonight, expect me afterwards.
That is so loaded, dude.
I'm coming for you after you come.
Oh, gross.